Good morning. It's Friday morning, November 21st, 2025, and it's time for your morning walk with me, Sophfronia. So, yeah, some of you may or may not know that I'm a big football fan. I love the NFL, watch every game that I can. Saw the Bills lose to the Texans last night, for example. And at this point in the season, you kind of know what your team is or is not. Now, does that mean you stop rooting for them? No. But you enjoy it more perhaps because you manage what is, right? You're not expecting them to be something that they're not and then being hugely disappointed every single game. You know what your team is at this point. I think that that's a good thing to think about in terms of how much pressure or stress that you might put on yourself when you're trying to do something. That you have all of these aspirations and big goals and ideas, especially with the new year coming up. But at a certain point, you recognize that you've done what you can do. Or maybe you don't recognize that and you give yourself a hard time about it. You don't give yourself credit for what you did in any given situation. I've also seen situations where a person might spend so much time planning on doing the thing that they're not doing the thing, right? So, and then get upset because they're not doing the thing. I saw a video of the mystic Krishnamurti this week where he was talking about how we create these images that are false, right? And not false intentionally, it's just the way that we think things should be. And then we hold on to it and feel pain over it when the picture is not what we want it to be. So, how do we get to a point where we can accept what is? And I think some of that has to do with changing our starting point in terms of understanding who you are. I usually talk about this in terms of writing, understanding who you are as a writer, who you are as an artist, and understanding the things that you want to create and what are your boundaries, especially when it comes to selling and commercialism. And, on a certain level, I can be difficult to figure out as a writer because I do so many different things. And it's really tempting to say, okay, I can do that. I can make that happen and write this thing to fit what's selling right now. And and I know how to do that. But would I be happy doing it? Would I be interested in writing? And the answer is no. And as much as there are things that I would love to have, right, in terms of recognition, especially with, the award season coming out, and I could really stress over that. Or I could look at the things that I have accomplished and who I am as a writer and knowing that I'm following the decisions that are important to me and what I want to create. So I could beat myself up over the image that isn't there. or I could be content in this space of where I am as a writer. So are there places in your life where you're holding on to an image that is a way that you're thinking about the world that either doesn't fit you or you're struggling towards, and it's bringing more stress than anything else? Can you either let go of it or think about it in a different way, where you're looking at how much of that image you do have, but you're not giving it yourself credit because it's not the whole shebang? Anyway, I'm going to keep walking. I hope that you have a lovely Thanksgiving next week, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.